Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Kim Gi-hong. In Korean, my English name is Ignaz. I used to use Alfred back in elementary to university year. Starting from today, I wanted to start lecturing aspects about um, criteria or fields where uh, professionalism isn't that a big deal, such as art, singing, and so on. Um, I have enlightened, I have educated, and I have uh, learned the ways to categorize things, organize, and make it happen to in reality through Incredibism for a very long time, and I all of a sudden thought that it would be a great opportunity for me to start lecturing things how I do it. So in this video, I'm going to train you guys basically how to sing better through through how I as best as I can. Uh, in to sing, I'll probably point out what the Incredibism is. As you know, you will be able to define Incredibism through my definition from, as you know, the Facebook page and so on. But Incredibism is act of um, finding sequences basically in mathematical format, in characteristics of practicality in linguistical architecture, or linguistic practicality in architectural ways. And I've been integrating, and finalization, realization, and continuing the cycles and so on. So that's the Incredibism, and through that, I begin to initiate myself in a music too, and to do that, I have as how I have been abstractly showcasing theoretical mathematical formats and so on too, in dimensional ways, and I have concluded my body as two-dimensional figures, and I had to categorize myself into a musical format where I could be able to adjust myself, right? So, first, our body is a instrument. Oh, yeah, instrument. That's how an instrument. I mean, that's how I first categorized myself, and from there, I subcategorized my body and try to formulate the way which I could sing better, and according to that is what affects my voice. Understanding what affects my voice was very crucial. One part of my body that affects is abs, aka abs, or my frontal core, lower frontal core, I guess, lower frontal core. That affects it. The way how orchestra or some singers use their lower frontal cord affects my voice mechanism. And second is obviously lung, right? My lung affects it. How I breathe in and how I breathe out affects my voice mechanism. Third is obviously it's called vocal cord. In Korean, it is 성대. That was the three biggest categories, which I think affects how I speak and how I vocally use my ability into music. So from there, I realized that since our lower frontal or I call it lower frontal because if I say abdomen, people won't realize what it means by initiating your muscle strength, I guess, like how you extract your power is hard to explain it in that way. So for example, when you release your voice, I highly recommend anyone who wants to sing better to understand what it means to use 단전, elixir field, 단전, elixir field. For some people, it might sound very, very obscure and way too spiritual, but the portion from the 단전 side to upper lower frontal near your stomach sequence always has to be 단전 to upper lower frontal to upper lower frontal. Okay, so if I say upper abdomen, there is no such thing as upper abdomen. But if I articulate, I guess, our abdomen into some sort of front and back aspects, it's upper lower frontal. So I highly recommend anyone who wants to speak, who wants to sing well, first practice the way to use your bodies from abdomen parts, particularly 단전 to upper lower frontal. It's so hard to teach people uh, I have never done this before, so it will be difficult for me to start speaking in English, explaining things and out and so on. Even in Korean, I don't feel like I'm comfortable with teaching somebody. Okay, well, so that's the first step. I highly recommend people to practice. Whenever you sing, don't just try to sing with your throat. It's gonna hurt you, and you will never gonna learn. The best way to learn is even when you speak to somebody, or even when you are talking to someone or something, try to use your danjan, the lower frontal portion of your body, especially danjan to upper lower frontal sequence. That's the key point to understand how to how to how start how to organize and shape your singing voice. That's the first step. And after you feel like, or you think that you're very comfortable with how using lower frontal and danjan to upper lower frontal. Second step to learn is how lung works. I don't know why, but my mouse fingers keep on disappearing. how lungs work. Yeah. I don't know why, but I just can't. Maybe because of a little bit of a dyslexia or whatever it is. Maybe I'm just, yeah. Well, so second step to learn is how lungs work. You have two lungs located in upper 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 posterior side. There's anterior, which is front, and posterior, which is a back side. But the lung affects the most at the actual. Not many people realize this, but it's actually at the posterior side. Okay, so when you have a posture, standing up posture, when you breathe in, it's not the best way to breathe in more and with the muscles strapped in is by breathing in expanding the posterior gesture. That's some way we call it 흉성 or expanding learning ways to expand posterior. That's how I do. Second step was to learn how to do 흉성, which is learning the expansion of posterior, upper. So not just the posterior, but upper. Oh no, actually, let's say just chest posterior, not the chest anterior. So there are three major elixir field dungeon, from lower frontal dungeon to near the chest area where the heart is the mid dungeon. So the sequence comes from lower, right? The lower abdomen, the lower frontal to the abdomen, going up to the mid elixir field. It's just like how we meditate, but you're meditating through basically singing. And since you've started your sequence from the lower frontal near your stomach, under your stomach, it goes up, and you now have to train 흉성, which is chest posterior, expanding chest posterior, not the chest anterior. Do not. That's like squeezing in. I don't know. So if somebody does the squeezing in position and sings well, they are the professionals, okay, the actors. But the first thing to practice is practice chest posterior, okay. Never and expand your anterior, posterior first. So stepping from the abdomen to the chest posterior, then you learn to manage vocal cord, okay. This is most important part of all three. Keep on, because managing vocal cord can be so dynamic. Somebody could just 진성, which is using your vocal cord, only the vocal cord, Gernard. So using the Gernard in Korean, it's called 진성. That's one way to manage your vocal cord, and the other way is 가성. 가성 is actually minimizing use of your Gernard, the vocal cords, part of the vocal cords, the Gernards, and expand soft palate. So by expanding the soft palate and minimizing use of your Gernard, you start to initiate 가성. And last, we call it 두성. 두성, how I understand it, is using both 진성 and 가성, which is using only expanding the Gernard and expanding what? The soft palate. So by expanding both Gernard and soft palate, you are doing what's called 두성 in Korean. I don't know what that is in English, so I'm going to teach you guys that. That's what 두성 is in Korean, in English. Okay, so that's pretty much it for me. How I trained it myself. First, learning how to use that. Second, how to use this. And third, how to use that. From that, you can now shape your own style. So anybody who wants to sing well, to never start from whatever this three is, okay, whatever the hyungsung, the use of the posterior chest is. Start from how to using your danjan, the axial field, okay, and how to extract your strength from the axial field to up to the stomach area, then finalizing it at the second mid danjan axial field, which now extends it to the hyungsung portion, where expanding and extracting the posterior chest side. Then you master these three: garnered, soft palate, using both, okay? Now you became a singer. Thank you so much for listening this, and I hope people learned a great lesson from my lecture. So starting from today, I will post my cartoon series, the delusional manifestation urgency, fiction novel too, someday, maybe in 5 to a week interval. But I have already showcased my stories and through Incredibism. I've been showcasing my art, and also I will, whenever I get a chance to lecture just like this, I will start doing that too. Okay, thank you so much for supporting my Incredibism journey, and I hope to see you guys in next video. Have a great day, and please subscribe and like if you learned something from me. Thank you.